Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tony's Picks Happy Hour here for July 31st. Ron Crawford, Ramon Scott with you here on a Thursday. Look, we're going to be chatting it up here, it looks like, for the next 20, 25 minutes or so, talking a little sports betting tonight. We'll cover the games. We know we've got a couple of good ones in the major leagues. We got that first NFL preseason game, Ron. You and I can wrap a little WNBA and CFL as well, but we're keeping our eye, or at least, I'm going to make you keep an eye on it with me because me being a Padres fan, we're pretty much on fire here right now. Nothing's ever guaranteed. We never win anything. This is rinse and repeat for the Padres, but still fun for us Padres fans. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Any way I can get on the Padres or signing everybody, it seems like. So let me get out there. No, but it looks like the Dodgers aren't worried about it because they're not making any moves. So we'll see exactly how that folds out. And yeah, Padres got a nice catcher from my Royals there, Freddie for me. We got a bunch of catchers in the minors, really, really stacked at the catcher position. So hate to lose Freddie, great guy. But looks like Salvi and Blake's going to come up and take some catching duties. So also MJ Melendez came back up from AAA. He really wasn't much of a catcher. He was in the minors, but when he came to Kansas City, they put him in the outfield. He can catch as well. So I don't know if they've switched him fully, but yeah, we got a deep catching system in the minors.
All right, let's hear from you in the chat too. Ron and I are going to try to keep an eye on this. We're down to 40 minutes, Ron. We might be here the whole time. Maybe we can get a little content out of it for sure. Just saw it come in here. Hey, don't rack on Andrew Friedman just because he's not a superstar. I got to get my Dodger dig in here, Ron. Just because he's not a superstar general manager. Yeah, Alex Call coming to the Dodgers from the Nationals as well here, Justin. Well, and we're seeing those other ones too, trying to finalize. But here we go. All right. Ron, we got a short card, so you just preempt me with any sports you want to throw in. We got a couple still here in the major leagues tonight. It's 2 games to look at. Oh, by the way, if you were involved in that Tampa Bay Yankees game, they're about to resume. Might be a little wet in the dugouts here. I'm watching it. It's about almost 20 after 5 right now. That's when they said they were going to resume. Everyone is in the dugouts. I don't think everyone's in the seats, but we're going to play ball here in just a moment with a 7-4 lead. Okay, so let's get into the game still to come, though. Ron, you got hey, just cover them both, huh? What do you say? Braves and Reds here. Carrasco, we see him now on the Braves. All jokes aside, the veteran pitcher here. I don't know if the Braves are actually trading to think they're getting back in the race or just making some moves here to shore things up for the future. Now it's 16 games behind first place and 16 games under 500. But going up against a hot pitcher here, Andrew Abbott, of course, has been really strong. And you're paying the price tonight here, Ron. $1.69 over 15. We'll go one at a time if you don't mind.
I got a premium on the first one, so I'll look at the second one. Let me get the Texas Rangers as a small dog price. I know looks like Suarez is actually going to play at third base tonight, right, for the Mariners. But I think Kumar Rocker gets a good start here, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna take a shot with the Rangers. One of the dogs got to win today, right? So I was on the Rays early. I kind of wrote it off, but you never know. It's a rain delay. You never know what happens after those. So I've seen teams come out with 17 runs after a rain delay with pitching changes they go for. So, yeah, the Rays had a couple injuries that probably not going to help us out. Looks like the Rays, they're still, 3 games behind the leaders in the wild card. Pretty much done in the AL East, of course. But, yeah, I guess they want to get this one in because, man, it was just coming down in sheets there at Yankee Stadium earlier. But, yeah, going to look at the late game. Give me the Texas Rangers as a small dog there.
Yeah, looking at overhead here, it can't be but a few thousand people in the stands, and that might be a little bit generous there. So, all right, Ron goes there with Texas. So I'll handle the LA or the Atlanta Cincy game there. But just to what we were talking about behind the scenes here and talking about, who Texas could acquire here. Merrill Kelly looks like a target for Texas here late right now. They also Ron had mentioned to me they got Colombe there to not shore up that bullpen. Bob Nightingale said the Texas Rangers were desperate for bullpen help. They got one of the best bullpens in the league. May be the best bullpen over the last 7 weeks. Really, third best.
Garcia is really good.
Yep. Yeah, so I wasn't sure. Bob might be just talking about the trade itself. So, all right, Ron, there on Texas. I'll go to that Atlanta game. I'm going to take the over with Carrasco and the Reds. I think you probably know where I'm going here. I want to root for Carrasco here a little bit. I know I don't want to be the one making all the jokes because that's certainly what we talk about with Cookie in there. But I'm going to take over. I like the Reds kind of to rout them today. The totals actually come down to 9, which kind of has me throwing my attention that direction, obviously. With tonight, Rod, where we're going to make a play for sure, Rod, on these games. But, a little bit thin pickings. If you've got a strong play like Ron does, hit him up with his premiums there in the baseball. So, we'll see. In addition to Preller, I think if I had to go number 2 in the superstar GM category, Ron, I'd probably go to Dipoto of Seattle. The way he's got the program going for sure. I know that those guys are still thirsty for postseason success there. And hey, if you're Friedman of the Dodgers, you got all the money to work with. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good job, buddy. We're not too thrilled on those games, I guess. And thanks to everyone. Hi to Sean in the chat. Ron there likes the Reds to roll these guys tonight.
Oh, there's our links for the game. Look out.
Appreciate it. Well, let's okay. Segue here. I don't have control, and Rod is behind the 1s and 2s there. Rod, we got the old spam text in there. If you can take care of it, if not, no big deal. You guys know what to do.
Good segue into the NFL, though.
We're going to segue right into the NFL. Don't click those links, by the way. You'll learn the hard way.
Exactly.
Anyway, Ron, go. Let's get into the game tonight with my Chargers in there. I certainly can expound a little bit on the team tonight here as we go into this Hall of Fame game against the Detroit Lions here. The Lions are going to be a favorite. I thought the line moved significantly when the Chargers announced that not only will Herbert not play, but Taylor Heineke expect to hold the clipboard. He is the backup on this team, and they're not going to mess with him either. So you're going to basically go with Trey Lance for the first half and the first series of the third quarter there, and then you're going to move in after that with DJ Uiagalelei, followed by, and then over Detroit.
Nice.
Hendon Hooker. Look, DJ's got size, right? You'd think he'd be able to land a job. He's going to be in the number 3 contention, I think, there with Lance. So I think those guys will be battling it out tonight for a bit. It's big on their part. Now the Lions with Hendon Hooker, Ron, he was one of the biggest stars in the league last preseason. He was terrific.
Yes, he was.
57% of his passes, and then they'll go to Kelly after that. So I think the Lions have a pretty good situation too. I know it's preseason, but you look at the total, it has snuck up a little bit here to 33.5 or 34, which is kind of from the low, I guess, of maybe 33, 32.5. So look, a lot of people not going to be messing around with NFL preseason. I think it's always a great challenge, and it gets you ready for all the rosters anyways. So just tone it down on the size of your picks. What do you say, Ron, with my Chargers tonight against the Lions? Antonio Gates, by the way, is the one of the Hall of Fame inductees. So
yes, he is.
About that.
Great tight end. He killed the Chiefs across the middle. We could not stop him ever. But going to this game, we look at the Chargers, and like you said, it's going to be Trey Lance's show, and then DJU at the end coming in there. I really can't trust either one of them. I do look on the other side of the fence with the Lions, though, but they've lost both their coordinators. They lost Johnson and they lost Aaron Glenn. So how's Dan Campbell going to react to that? But when I'm capping, and I don't do it often, but hell, it's a game tonight. We're all going to watch it. When you're capping preseason, you want to look at the depth charts. Who's the strongest depth chart? Who's the injuries? Who's not going to play? Whose rookies are not going to play? And there's several that I can see on the Charger side that aren't going to play. And then I look at the quarterback. Who's got NFL experience, game experience? And that rolls me the Detroit Lions. Give me the Lions with Kyle Allen. I think it's going to be fine there. Give me minus 1.5, even money line minus 125. I'll take the Detroit Lions on the money line tonight.
All right, now I'll go a little bit heads up, just because it's just you and me here,
Well,
Ron.
yeah, I told you the other day. I said if Heineke was in, I was all over the Chargers at +2. I was all over, but
he is our
now I'm
backup.
seeing him. Yeah, they don't want to injure their only backup that they have. Because if you
We're not.
trust Trey Lance and DJU, yeah, good luck.
No, we're not screwing around with that situation right now. I mean, Herbert. Look, I'll play the Harbaugh card here a little bit. I know people want to kick that to the curb too. He actually is 1-4 in his week 1 preseason games in his career, so he actually ramps it up. Jim Harbaugh does in his weeks leading up to the season. They actually get stronger with his teams, if you will, back to the Niners days of last year. But I'm going to look to a little bit of the personnel you mentioned here and talk about the guys. If anybody's looking, maybe some props here. Look, it's tough, right? But you could win a DFS contest if you hit it right. And that's what you got to do. You got to roll the dice and gamble a little bit. And I've kind of tried to narrow it down who I think the best players are, maybe to get the bulk of the touches and yards here. So I've got 2 Chargers here I'm going to recommend with Lambert Smith. You're going to look down the depth charts like Ron said, right? You got to find these players in there. But Keandre Lambert Smith, the wide receiver, he's been surging here this week. He was a number 158 pick, but real strong at Auburn. Your War Eagle, Ron.
War Eagle.
50 receptions, 981 yards. And I may have picked him because he is a Tiger. But I think if you look at this, where they're going to go and where they're going to end up here, maybe when the bulk of the yardage is in there. Also, of course, Kimani Vidal, who also starred a little bit in preseason last year, but also was getting touches, remember, during the season, kind of went down there. You see, thank you to the crew there. Yeah, that Merrill Kelly deal just coming through there.
Just went through. There it is. Yep.
Jeff Lawson just had it, so that's about as good as you can get.
The Red Sox were talking with him too, so yeah, looks like it got done to the Rangers. So
Rangers are serious here, it looks like, too. So Kimani Vidal, the backfield, the running back of the Chargers. Now, on the Lions, I'm going to look here to Lovett. Dominic Lovett. I think his projection here is low compared to the price. You can look up and down and find, as long as some of the books have these prices, but Dominic Lovett's going to be my guy today for the Lions. And also, of course, I think out of the backfield, I thought Bell might get some of the work, but now it looks like maybe Robichaux and Small here. So, Bell's Ronnie Bell, the receiver, I think. Yeah, he might be my 4th choice. I might stay away from the Lions running game. So hopefully I got you a couple players there with, I'd say Lambert, Smith, Vidal, and Lovett are my top players today. That'll be my kind of picks for the game there. And yeah, maybe I'm on the Chargers. Maybe I'm rooting for them. But I also think, here's the thing, right? We know the Lions, their superstars are not going to be playing too much. They look a little bit in a rebuild on some of those key positions where the battles will be taking place on the defensive side, a little bit of line. And also, you mentioned the coordinator situation this year. And
yeah, both of them gone.
I certainly think that what Harbaugh runs is a true, I mean, he's a wacko in a good sense, if you know what I mean. That's why I like him as a Chargers coach, and taking no games off really is what they do. Right. And they're a scripted team, no doubt about it, when it comes to the preseason. So, all right, hope you guys enjoyed that little.
Yeah, but Ramon, you're forgetting the most important prop of tonight. Will Lightning delay this game in the 3rd quarter?
Well, I've been making that joke all week. It does look pretty good tonight. Anything's possible, I guess, there. So I didn't want to kind of go back into it. I kind of said, well, I think the game won't finish. Ron, one time the Chargers played the Packers in a preseason game, or in this Hall of Fame game, and they played 4 quarters. The final score was 0-0, and they just said, you know what? It started to do the storm thing, and that was it.
I do remember that.
0-0. That had to be about 35 years.
But yeah, don't go too hard tonight, guys. Just have fun, like Ron Hahn said. Put a little pizza money on it and enjoy the game.
Chargers also had a preseason game in the old Astrodome canceled because the plywood under the turf was a little bit too hard. All right. Hey, let's go to our WNBA. Check out our 2-3 zone show. every day here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Ron and I are joined by Justin McKelvey. Solo Malone joins us sometimes, and we've got Golden State tonight here taking on Washington on this road trip now for Golden State. And look at this runaway favorite, Ron. We talked about it at 1.5 or 2. Now we're talking Washington here. I don't think it's personnel related. It just feels like maybe the bettors might be thinking that the Valkyries have been getting a little tired. They've won here on this trip, but Washington's all the way up here now to 4.5, maybe, Ron. Maybe some 4s out there. Total 154.
Yeah, like I said, I had capped that at Golden State 1 and about 158. That line has plummeted from that 158. What is it right now? 154. You look at the first meeting was 76-74 for the Valkyries. Look for the same kind of deal there. I'd have to look at the under, but now you look at the Valkyries as a road underdog. They've been money in your pocket. Of course, that first half we've talked about that all year. But I would look I think that line's moved a little too far now, and go with the under and take Golden State plus 4.5.
All right, fair enough. I mean, when we were on the show, just to be fair, right, I laid Washington at that shorter number. I think I was hinting that there could be some 2s out there, so we might be against each other there. But it's obviously a huge game, right? I mean, we know that these two teams are basically right now 8 and 9. I think in the standings. So
top 8 get in. Yep.
Key loss for whoever loses. I guess Washington could withstand it more. They're 13-13, and Golden State's 12-13. But hey, we've still got lots of games to go here. 1/3 of the season left, so I will take the under as my official play here.
Head tiebreaker, like say Golden State's got one already. They want to get the second one definitely, and they got Chicago on deck tomorrow night.
I'm going under with it, like you mentioned.
No, I agree.
I would have premium this probably at 150.
I did. I'll just give it to you right now. Go under 153.5.
Thank you, Ron. Well, there you go. Because hey, it's a short card today. Go throw
free
Ron,
premium for you, people.
Pick up his weekend package there because he did that for you. Really appreciate it. And get ready for the NFL season too with us over there. Also, Ron, throw in a couple numbers though here. Of course, these Golden State 7-13 of the under as a dog. That is exactly what their spread record is against the spread, 13-7 as a dog. So it's usually when they are an underdog, it's a lower scoring game and they get the money. So I don't know if that kind of talks about what Ron and I are saying right there, but we're going to do it here tonight. But we know that Washington, a strong 9-5 record straight up at home. Golden State 4-9 straight up on the road. If this was a little bit closer, maybe that would put you in tune with Washington. So hope I'm not just talking about these games too much. That's all we got. So thanks to everyone in the chat. We got more, but I mean, all we got on our card here. So Richard Lockhart likes Valkyries in the first half. That's always a good one too there, right? So thanks to everyone checking us out in the chat. All right, Ron, we're going to do our Canadian Football League. We've got Thursday night football that's real here tonight, or at least counts in the standings. Now, you're going to have to put your handicapping hat on here because the 1-6 Red Blacks here are taking overwhelming action, I would guess, unless the books are just adjusting their line to make up for this quarterback injury situation here for Calgary. So PJ Walker gets the start for Calgary. Look, he has certainly experience. Remember, we saw him in the NFL a little bit.
Yep.
And you got Brown here, Drew Brown. Everybody likes Brown, but man, Calgary, they harass quarterbacks big time. But what do you see here? You got 5-2 Calgary, open to field goal favorite or so, or even more, right? I think it was 4.5. Now Ottawa comes in here with a 1-6 record, is a 3.5 point favorite. I understand the quarterback situation here in Brown is kind of hot. Can you make a case for Ottawa? What's going on here?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Bob Dice has lost this team. I was talking about the last game. I really thought maybe Ottawa would show up. Didn't show up again. Calgary's got the better defense here. I know we don't know what we're going to see. Vernon Adams is going to be out for a while. But PJ Walker doesn't really have any receivers to throw to tonight. Phil Potts out and a couple other mainstay receivers are out. So I think the only way you can look is the under in this one. Take under 50.
For sure. Let me put can we rubber stamp a game together here at least? I was kind of picking on you, or vice. You were making the call. I have to go second, kind of. So,
No, you're good.
no, I agree. Look, here's my handicap on the game. Now, I think the missing players are significant, but sure, Calgary, they can harass Brown. It's just that he is kind of more mobile than most of the other core. So I think that he can get away enough, it feels like to me. Now, I agree. I think it's under because I think Brown gets chased around, but he's got to get to these guys. He's got more guys to get the ball to, certainly, than Walker does with the Stamps. I think you just said that. So, for me, I look to Ottawa, guys like Lewis, like Hardy, like Adelson, Pimpleton. All these guys can get involved there, especially the slots. But that's going to take possession, no turnovers. You got to play a perfect game. I think that's what the sharp bettors are calling for here. I actually like Ottawa. I'll go against you there. I don't want to lay this as a premium or anything now with a 3.5, maybe money line.
No, I don't have a side on it, and I'd probably agree with you that Ottawa's play,
Okay.
but I like I said, Bob Dice had his chance the last game, and they didn't show. And he's 1-6 now. He might be gone.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not like there's going to be such a turnaround that Ottawa's in playoffs or anything. This is just a spot.
But it's in the nation's capital. It's at home. It's at night. I agree with you, Ramon. If I leaned anyway, I think I'd go with the Ottawa Red Blacks in this one. Drew Brown's going to be the probably better quarterback out on the field tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I think with Calgary, just not enough guys. I mean, sure, Rhymes. Look, they're going to try to use Dedrick Mills left and right, and he's going to get a lot of action. And I think that also plays into the under big time as well. So I think it's a short control game from Ottawa. I think it's a running game from Mills here. He could have a big game because Ottawa is probably worst in the league. It feels like I don't have the stats, but it feels like they're worst in the league against stopping the run or against running backs themselves. They're okay, I think, in the secondary and the linebackers. So like
in the first meeting was what 20-12 Red Blacks. Yeah,
and
they can beat them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that's a great look at the game there as well. So, all right, Ron, maybe you dug into, and we'll let you do the promo here in this segment since we're looking for some action. But, man, I hit that first night of Leagues Cup really strong, and then I flubbed it up there a little bit last night. Maybe I was sticking with too many of the Mexican League teams. I don't necessarily want to do that. I've been saying for weeks how I think the MLS has passed them, and some of our best posters have been saying, no, that's not the case. But I got burned last night with the Liga MX teams. Go ahead, and if you got something else on your parlay sheet here, we can talk about it as well. Get your promo in over at Tony's Picks.
Yeah, I got like I said, I gave you my WNBA play. I'm now 17-5 on those best bets. That's not a best bet, but it's just premium tonight. And then I got one in the CFL, of course, and then I got my Diamond Crusher in Major League Baseball. One with last night with the Yankees. Thank you, Volpe. Not expecting him to tie it, but then the Yankees tried to give it away at that top. I mean, or in the bottom there, they had a guy at second, and we're trying to sacrifice him over. He just runs off the bag. He's like, oh, there's only 2 outs, I guess. So, yeah, but he ran off the bag. That was Austin Wells, right? So, yeah, but it ended up all good. Cody Bellinger hits that triple to the wall and gets there. So, Yankees got there, but yeah, we're trying to bounce back. With another winner tonight with my Diamond Crusher. It's in the Cincinnati-Atlanta game. You can get that right now at Tony's Picks. Also, don't forget, this is the last day of our Christmas in July. So you can get our yearly packages. And if you look at me for the last year, I'm good at the winter sports, I'm kind of good at the summer things, but not as well. I was number 1 regular season NHL, number 1 after the playoffs in NBA. And also had football. I was up 500 units last year in NFL football. So you get my year package at a discounted rate tonight only because it will be gone tomorrow. Get that yearly package and we'll make you some money, especially when it comes to the winter sports. I was dominating it last year. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And good luck to everybody. And, you see the leaderboards, it's a slow time, but let's get ready and let's roll and into football season starting tonight. It's good to have it back. And I mean, I've been capping CFL for a while, getting ready for NFL, but tonight, real deal actually starts. So we get the NFL back. Everybody's looking forward to that. And that's what everybody wants to see from all the cappers here starting in the fall, college football, pro football. Before you know it, you're in basketball and hockey. So we're ready to go. And pair your favorite two cappers up. Like I said, me and Ramon also do soccer, and as well as some of the other peripheral sports. He does the tennis and things like that. So if you're lacking one of the sports or you want to find the best in one sport, go with one guy, go with another guy. So pair us up. 2 times better putting your money in your pocket and get that bankroll ready for a nice NFL college football season.
I'll take a play in tennis tonight. I'll take a Daniil Medvedev to beat Popyrin by 4 games. Is it even money or so? If you want to go to juice it up at 3.5, I guess strong possibility of a 6-4, 6-4. But I'm going to take Medvedev tonight over Poppy in Toronto. Some great action right now. 3rd set. Coco Gauff, number 1 seed here, has been taken to a 3rd set by Kudermetova, but she is up 2-0. Already broke her once. Looks like to have control here now of the match, but a 3-setter there. We got some good action tonight as well, including Canadian star, young star Victoria Mboko taking on Buzkova there on home turf. So I've got plays in tennis tonight. Check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. I've got picks tonight, also picks tomorrow as well. I think I've slowed down a little bit here for sure on the hard courts there. I don't want to say my specialty is the clay and the grass, but that's what the stats would tell you. So hopefully I'm ready to go in New York here coming up. I hope so. Should be some great action. Who's going to win? Carlos, right? I think you're looking at 2. Carlos or Sinner is basically it. Mm-hmm. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including those from Ron and I. Ron, I will take a shot if you want at some Leagues Cup tonight. I've got to.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go over it. Yeah, let's go through it. I got a couple.
Yeah, I got. I'm going to go right to my home team's game. They're playing my favorite team anyway, from the Mexican League in Tijuana. I don't like their chances tonight. They'd probably need a second goal here to get the points. And, Leagues Cup, interesting format, right? We're always going to go to those penalties. If it is a tie, it makes for a fun format, I think, here. But I'm going to go with the Galaxy tonight over TJ as my play here. There are a substantial favorite here at -0.5 plus $1.10, but I think I'm going to go ahead and lay the half a goal with the Galaxy tonight.
All right. And I'm going to go against one of my favorite teams in the MLS to go with, and that's Cincinnati. I got to go with Monterrey. The reason they're favored, I think they're telling you everything right you need to know. So take Monterrey, Mexico over FC Cincinnati.
All right. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to Rod for holding it down with the hope we didn't take up too much of his time having to listen to us rap about these. I really didn't see too many other than that Merrill Kelly deal, and I think we would have gotten the heads up
about
from
to close out here in about 14 minutes.
Yeah,
so we'll
we got a few minutes here. Something could happen there for sure. One quick look here, Ron. I'm looking down the last seconds of the there we go. I do have one here, I think. The Cubs are going to get Willie Castro from the Twins.
Okay.
Might be our one last one here. Another one here. This one is an expected here, it looks like. And it is from a pretty good source here. Zach Gatsby from beat writer for sure here. He's got one with Joe Ryan on the move here. Twins are expected to trade Joe Ryan. Red Sox are heavily linked to Ryan, but we just don't have a confirmation there. And Griffin Jacks also could be on the move. Thanks, everybody, for
That's
joining
a good
us.
pickup, whoever gets Griffin Jacks. There's a good back-end bullpen right there for sure.
We'll be back tomorrow here at 5:15 Eastern and 2:15 Pacific as well. So Mikal Bridges in the NBA from Shams just now agrees to a 4-year, $150 million contract there. Just squeeze that one in while I'm scrolling down here. I think that sounds like it. Thank you for a great job here. Ron, and thanks to everybody in the chat as well. So we'll click on out of here. We'll catch you again tomorrow with more Tony's Picks Happy Hour. Don't forget to join the guys on the Tony's Picks morning show here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. The guys get you ready for the action on the diamond. We're back to a full schedule tomorrow. So for Ron Crawford, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Good luck, everybody.